Howdy everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Play Planet Coaster Frontier Adventure here on Theme Park Worldwide. Can't believe it, 3rd episode already, and straight in starting to build the 2nd roller coaster at this park. It's going to be a hybrid coaster, Rocky Mountain construction, and I'm looking forward to this coming together over the next few minutes for you all. Along with that, in this episode we're going to be theming this ride. I'm going to share off-ride footage and on-ride POVs from it as well once it's complete. And along with that, I'm going to be naming the railroad and also as well the Gerstlauer Eurofighter that I built back in the past 2 episodes. So lots to look forward to, action-packed, and yeah, let's get to it with building this RMC coaster. Now, as you can see, it's not ridiculously tall, and that's all because of the sight lines. As I mentioned back in the previous episode, sight lines are really important to me in Planet Coaster and when I'm building theme parks, and they are also when I'm visiting them. I like to be immersed in them different areas, and as much as this whole park is going to be under one theme, of course Frontier, Wild West, I still wanted to make sure that we don't have anything too imposing too close to the entrance of the park, and that's why with this it's not too tall, but we've got a nice steep drop on there, straight up into the first inversion, of course a nice 0G roll, and then it banks up to the left and into a mid-course brake run just there as well. So thought that'd be quite a nice position for a mid-course, just to make sure that we can be running multiple trains in operation safely on this ride. And of course it also means that we're going to get a nice whip of airtime after that mid-course before dropping straight down and up into a second inversion, which is another 0G roll, but this time going the opposite way. Now at this point, as you can see, I've actually put a footpath in. I wanted to dig a tunnel underneath and have a really nice head chopper element. You're going to have some pretty good speed coming into that still, as you'll see later on from the real-time footage, including the on-ride POV of this. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we have a really nice head chopper element, and that's what I've just put in there and redone the path over the top. And it's going to make its way up into a nice turnaround section, which will send it straight back in this direction. But yeah, this is really nice banking that we're going to have on this, and like I say, it'll actually shoot straight back under the pathway and then be able to bank to the left a little bit, just to make sure that it misses the piece of track and the supports with the 0G roll that's in place there. But yeah, it takes that with some pretty nice speed actually. Already got some good elements built into this ride. Not really so much airtime yet, it's more about the inversions. Of course we've got this really nice turnaround here, but there's going to be lots of airtime hills, as you're going to see in the next few minutes, that we're going to put in as part of this coaster. Now the layout, I wanted to keep it not like fully compact. Of course it's still a big ride, but I didn't want it to spread out over too much of an area, this one. Like I say, I've put it on a nice angle, so from the entrance it looks really good. And as always, when I'm building these attractions, you'll see me zoom out and zoom in all the time. Sometimes I'll go down to guest view down at ground level on the pathway and just see how it looks, because I like to think that, you know, it's looking right from all the different angles. So that's what I do throughout whilst I'm building these rides. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far, and like I say, you know, the angles are really nice from the entrance of the park, just so it fits and you get some really nice views of the coaster. As you can see then, it's made its way back out of that tunnel that runs underneath the main pathway, and then it banks to the left before making its way round to the right and back up again and underneath some of the structure there where the mid-course brake run was. And this is where we're going to have a nice run now of airtime that's going to run all in a row. Going to start off with this drop here that's going to go in a tunnel. I'll put that in later on when we're working on the terrain around this ride and the landscaping. But yes, it's coming out of that, and then we're going to go straight up into some more elements as well, some more airtime that you're going to see. So yeah, like I say, we're going down into that area where there is going to be a tunnel, just removing some of the ground there to make sure. And then we're going to have a nice double up element just here as well, where you're going to get maximum airtime. Look at that, love a good double up, especially on an RMC. And that's not going to be it, there's going to be another little airtime hill here as well that's going in, and of course it's all over the pathway, so it's going to take it with some nice speed and some really nice head chopper elements there as well. following on from that, we've actually got another double up element there into another airtime hill, so that'd be a wild part of the ride. Bear in mind, you've gone through 2 inversions, a nice turnaround section with some steep banking, and also some good near misses, and then you go in, of course, into that big section full of airtime. And if you've been on an RMC coaster, you'll know that airtime is usually a big part of them, not all the time, but airtime is usually a big focus for them. Now, we're also going to another tunnel before banking to the left, and I thought, why not? Let's put another final inversion in there, making the total number of inversions to 3 on this coaster. And of course, there's going to be a really nice near-miss element caused with some special effects under that as well. But yeah, a really nice roll just to end this attraction there, really close to the ground, which is fantastic, and just what I would want on this ride. After going through all that airtime, I think, you know, the layout was ready for another inversion. And you know, this roll that's really close to the ground is fantastic. So yeah, that is the layout. It's all come together over the past sort of 5 minutes or so, and as you can see now, I'm just starting to work a little bit on the terrain around there. It is going to be quite a terrain coaster in places, not all the way around, but some of the places, but I like to build that up afterwards. Of course, we've made sure that the train track makes its way through there as well, for that railroad attraction. And also working on that tunnel there as well, just before it makes its way up into that series of airtime hills. The reason that I'm just flattening that out to the side there is that that's actually going to be our next town. Now, I've mentioned all about, with this part, my idea to have different towns with slightly different themes and different stories behind them, but of course all coming back to Wild West. And that's my plan with this one. It's going to be the second town, and this sort of leads me on to the theme of this ride. It's all going to be based on oil. This town is going to be quite a rich town that's got its money through oil, and that's what this is all going to be themed to. So I am going to need a name for this roller coaster as well. So of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. Get your suggestions coming in. You might want to wait until a little bit later in the episode before making your comment with your suggestion, because yeah, there's going to be a lot of theming around this ride, starting off with the top of this oil tower just here, which is the lift hill. So going to have a nice element on there that was kind of inspired by a lot of traditional wooden roller coasters that maybe have a little roof on the top. I can think of quite a few wooden coasters that have got that, and I thought we'd do the same with this just here, put a nice little top on, because I think it fits with the coaster nicely. We're looking back at older wooden coasters. I know this is a more modern hybrid coaster, but I thought that'd fit quite nice, and that's like can be like another oil tower that's forming part of this as well. At first I just wrote oil on there, but then I decided to go for oil tower. Let's just hope I spell it right. I know there's been a few a few spelling mistakes so far. Like I say, I don't really focus too much on the writing when I'm building, because I am going to be going back to some of the signs, changing them to fit with the names that you guys are suggesting. So yeah, I know I've made a couple of spelling mistakes so far. There was a funny spelling of celebration back in episode 2, and in episode 1 of the series, sheriff I think I spelt wrong, but I will go back and change them at some point. And like I say, I'm not too concerned about what's on the signage at the moment. Again, some of the signs might even be a bit too repetitive, so I want to change them up a bit once we've got the names of the rides. But of course, when I'm building these attractions, I don't know what names we're going to go for, and so yeah, I just kind of put anything on the signs just to fill them in initially. But like I say, in the next few minutes, we are going to go back to the last episode and the rides that I built there, and reveal the names that I've chosen for that Gerstlauer Eurofighter, which was the first coaster I built in this park, and then also as well for the nice railroad attraction, which is going to take you around. You can't have a park themed around the Wild West without a railroad, can you? Like, you know, it's criminal. Like, you've just got to have it. So I'm just making sure we've got a nice bit of covered section over here now. There's going to be a lot of landscaping, a lot of theming around this. It's going to be a lot more heavy theming compared to the Eurofighter that we put in. Don't get me wrong, that looked really pretty, but it didn't need loads around it. Whereas with this, there's going to be a lot of machinery, a lot of mechanics, just to kind of fit with this oil theme that we're going on, this oil rig, what's just off to the side of the town of Tanpost. And of course, we've created this other town just here as well that is all going to be based around the oil, like I've said just, and of course, you know, all this is going to come together over the next sort of couple of episodes, you're going to see how this is all going to fit in. I'm going to be working on a water ride actually in the next episode that's going to form part of another area. But yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with how this is looking so far. So as you can see, I'm adding some more details there on the roof of that little walkway. We've got some boilers, all sorts of different machinery going onto there. And that's just like I say, to create a really nice sort of part of the storyline to this ride. All about this oil works that we've got here. So yeah, you really think about that when you're coming up with the name and also your storyline suggestions for this one as well. But yeah, all sorts is going to be added over the next few minutes, just so there's so much to look at, both on ride and creating some really good head choppers, and also from off ride. When you're walking into this area, of course, you're going to get some fantastic views of the coaster and also all the theming around as well. Now, you might be thinking, what is the name of this new town? It's actually the town of Oatman. So yes, Oatman Oil is the company that we're looking at just here. So really think about that when you're coming up with your name, and of course the best one will get chosen, the one that I enjoy the most. Now let's talk about episode 2 and of course the rides that I built there. Now I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support and all of your comments. Honestly, hundreds and hundreds of comments coming in with names and also storyline suggestions for those rides, especially the Eurofighter. So I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who came up with them fantastic name suggestions. I really wasn't expecting there to be as many comments as there was. Honestly, going through them all was amazing, just reading all of your suggestions, and I really struggled to pick. There was maybe 3 or 4 that really stood out, and then I thought about those over a couple of days actually. And then picked the ones that I liked the most. So once again, I just want to say an absolutely huge thank you to each and every one of you that took the time to really think of a good name and also story idea and comment it on this video. Honestly, it does mean the world to me. And just so you know, I read every single one of those. Well, you've seen it. I heart all the comments down below and reply to a lot of them as well. But I read each and every one. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And it's great that you want to be involved in this Planet Coaster series here on Theme Park Worldwide. Honestly, it's amazing, so thank you. But yes, these are the ones that I've chosen. So I'm going to start off by talking about, of course, the railway. That was the first ride that I built way back at the start of episode 1. I say way back, it was only 3 episodes ago, but I feel like we've accomplished so much already with this park. But yes, I've gone for a fantastic name thanks to Every, the Cuban American, and the name that I've chosen is the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad. So there we go. So thank you very much for that. I absolutely love that name, and I thought that fit really well for the train. Now let's move on to the Gerstlauer Eurofighter. Now I mentioned, of course, we need a celebration to be taking place in the town of Tanpost, and of course that's the area that we've been building so far. Of course, this is the start of the next town here, and you can see the station building starting to come together actually, Oatman Oil. But yes, fantastic name thanks to Victoria B. This one really just caught my attention and I loved it. Lady Mare's Looping Lasso. And this is a brilliant name, and the storyline to go with it is awesome as well. So here we go. Tanpost's most famous daughter has returned from a 2-year adventure with many tales of bravery and adventure with her amazing lasso skills. The townfolk were so inspired by her stories that she's just been voted the new mayor of Tanpost. So I just want to say thank you very much. I really like that name. It's brilliant. And also as well, it fits with all the banners that are up. There's a new mayor, all the banners around City Hall and that whole area of Tanpost. And also as well around the coaster. I said we wanted some sort of celebration, and that's what we're celebrating. Lady Mare Looping Lasso. So what a brilliant name. Thank you very much for coming up for that one, Victoria B. As always, keep them suggestions coming in for the park, along with names. And you're starting to get a bit of an idea now for this, how it's going to look. We've got this big oil tower going on the station building there. I really want a name and a storyline for this. So think about it. It's Oatman Oil. That's the name of the actual area, Oatman Town. So yeah, really think about that. And of course, the coaster type. It's a hybrid coaster. It's got inversions. It's got near misses. But you're also going to start to see now some other things that are possibly going wrong at this oil factory, should we say. So yeah, you're going to start to see a bit of oil being spilt, some fire in places, and that's all going to come together. So really started to put all that together and come up with a name and a theme. And to be honest, I have no doubt that there's again going to be hundreds of absolutely amazing comments coming in. So once again, thank you to each and every one of you who watches these videos, but even more so to the people that take the time to come up with these storylines and names. It really is fantastic, so thank you so much. As you can see, this is really starting to look great now. This is the area that I want the most theming around. This is the grand finale of the ride, and like I say, something's going to go wrong. A bit of an oil spillage maybe causing some fire, but I'll let you guys come up with that. I'm setting the scene here for what I would like, and then I'm sure you guys will deliver and come up with something amazing. I've got no doubts about that. So yeah, we've got all sorts of towers, lots of steel work around here, boilers, other machinery. There's a lot going on, near miss elements. I mean, we've got that fantastic run of airtime hills there. So yeah, I thought we'll have some really nice head chopper elements all the way across there as well. There's going to be lots of different oil barrels around here. Yeah, it's going to be quite a hive of activity. There's going to be a lot going on all the way around this area. You can see I've put some steps in going up there. Again, a lot of this stuff is just being put in place because I think it looks right. I think it looks good. Some of these would normally be water towers, not for oil, but again, you can kind of use things in Planet Coaster for what you want. You know, you can change the colours, positions, add other things to them, take things away, you know, and make sure that it fits exactly how you want in these areas. But here's some of them fire effects coming in. So we've got two of the flamethrowers there that are going on them pylons. I've actually set up a trigger sequence with the ride. So when it comes around the corner, like you saw there, it sets the fire to go off. And that's not going to be the only fire. I'm actually going to put some more in the tunnel and also under that final inversion shortly as well. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have got your thinking caps on already with suggestions for this one. Now, just wanted to talk a little bit about the series prior to this one. Of course, Christmas Wonderland. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It was a great park. Over 10 episodes, 10 weeks. That is also available to download now in the Theme Park Worldwide Steam Workshop. So if you haven't already downloaded it, it's been on there just over a week now, but if you've not already downloaded it, head over there and you can download that. You can expand the park, you can remove bits, you can replace things, or you can just operate it if you want to. It's entirely up to you, but you can find it in the Steam Workshop, and of course you can have a little play around with that and see what you think to it. Of course, all my previous creations are on there as well. This one isn't yet. I always wait until the end of a series before I share the park. The main reason of that is that I like to complete it how I want to first before releasing it, and of course letting you guys get creative and add bits, remove things, and general operations of the park. As you can see here, just adding some of them flame effects in now. These would be still at a safe distance just off to the side of the track, kind of similar to how Wicker Man is at Alton Towers. That's got the flame effects that are close to the track, but they're still not touching it and they're at a safe distance. That would be the same with these. And again, this will all come round to the storyline. Maybe Oatman's oil, something that's causing an explosion. I don't know, whatever you think for this one. I'm just setting the scene, like I say, with all of this around here, but I think it's looking good. It'd be a bit of a missed opportunity, wouldn't it, really, if we didn't put some fog effects in, but I'm just thought, let's add them in. That was a poor joke, wasn't it? I promise I won't make a poor joke like that again for the rest of the series. No, episode, I think I'll say. I won't say series. Also, I've had a lot of comments, people saying, how long is this series going to be? Well, the answer to that one is, I don't have a clue at the moment. I'm literally just building this as it goes, and we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of theming, a lot of rocks and stuff in this park, so we'll see. It's not going to be a huge park, maybe going to be the same sort of size as Christmas Wonderland, possibly, but maybe more episodes to do it because of the even more detail going in, and some bigger rides. But I don't know, yeah, I guess between 10 and 15 episodes, I'm saying, but that isn't like me confirming it because I don't know. If I knew, I would say, but I don't really have much of a plan too much for this part. I'm taking it as it is. I wanted a nice traditional entrance to fit with the Wild West theme, and I wanted a coaster on each side, and that's all I really knew. I now know, though, what I'm going to be doing in episode 4. Can't believe it'll be 4 weeks in already next Wednesday. But yes, I'm going to be working on a Rapids ride, and this is going to be kind of going out a bit with this area. It's going to be kind of a lot less trees, and there'll be a few, but not as many as what we put in so far. A bit of a Grand Canyon-esque style area with this rapids ride. Inspiration for this one has come from the Grand Canyon Rapids at Portaventura in Spain. Brilliant rapids ride, lots of rocks around. That's kind of what we're going to go for. Going to be a nice big drop. I'm envisioning it kind of starting up on a hill and then dropping down, and lots of water effects like waterfalls, splashes, and all sorts of stuff. So that's what you can look forward to coming in episode 4 of Frontier Adventure here on Theme Park Worldwide. And following on from that, I've got a couple of ideas. Don't know about the locations yet, but I've got a couple of ideas. Now, here's some more signs going in. Hopefully no spelling mistakes, but like I say, if there is, don't worry, I'll be going back to them and changing them. Definitely the sheriff sign and celebration. Don't worry, they will get done at some point. And of course, once this is named, I might come in and do some changes and add some other bits on there as well, just to see how it fits. But yeah, I like just putting in loads of different signs. When I go to these theme parks in real life, not like we can at the moment, but when I do go to theme parks in real life, then I like looking at all the signage and details, and Wild West areas I always find have got a lot of signage around. Let's think about Frontierland at the Disney parks, along with that Dollywood, Silver Dollar City, lots of random bits of signage around that I really like, and also a couple of other parks that I'm using for inspiration. I mean, I've mentioned the big ones. Well, that's a good piece of machinery there. But yeah, also some of the smaller ones. Black Gang Chine on the Isle of Wight. That's got a really nice Wild West area. And somewhere I visited for the first time late last year was Sundown Adventureland. So that's another one. So yeah, there's all sorts of different parks that I'm sort of putting together and inspiring Frontier Adventure. And the ultimate Wild West theme park, I like to think it's going to be. And I'm very pleased that it's coming together so far. As I mentioned with my projects, it's all about building up layers. That is the key to it. Starting off with the coaster, then working on the terrain, then some theming, then going back and adding the rocks and greenery around. And that's exactly what I've done with this hybrid coaster. And for something that's not really tall, I think we've managed to get quite a lot out of the layout, really, to be honest. Lots of airtime, 3 inversions, good first drop, and some great theming around. And that's exactly what I want from a coaster. It's got to have some nice theming. We're starting to work on the queue line just here now. I may come back to this and add even more details at a later date, because like I say, this is going to be its own town all the way around here of Oatman. So yeah, there is going to be like a town sort of square or street, maybe, I haven't quite decided which yet, which is going to run alongside the lift hill of the coaster on this side of it, and then also up where the pathway goes there. So that is going to come at some point. That isn't going to be the next episode. I'm going to be working on this rapids, and the plan is for the rapids, it's actually going to sit directly behind the entrance and in between these two coasters. So that'll also create a really nice berm of rocks that we can add along there to kind of help with sight lines. I'm envisioning a bit of a lake maybe there as well, and then we can kind of build up the park all the way around that. That's the plan with it. More signage going in just there. There we go. Warning signs, oil factory, all sorts of random stuff. And like I say, we can come back and make some changes to those at a later date. Also, it's great to hear that you're enjoying the Wild West music that I'm using in this series, courtesy of Disney from Frontierland. All their area music is absolutely fantastic. It really is, and I thought that'd be the perfect fit. So yeah, if you want to listen to it without my talking over, then yeah, if you just type it on YouTube, Frontierland area audio from the Disney parks, and of course you'll be able to enjoy that. Some brilliant songs in there, of course, songs what Disney didn't come up with. I imagine they possibly did their own versions of them, but they certainly didn't come up with most of these. They were all sort of, typical American Wild West songs, that they've utilised and put around the area. I love this theme. It's my favourite theme. It really is. And some might say that it's a bit overdone at some of the parks, but I think if it's done well, it's a fantastic theme to go with. It really is. Just working on some lighting around there now before shortly we're going to get on board. I'm going to show you a daytime POV, then a nighttime POV, and then some off-ride footage to wrap up the episode. So how about that? Some really nice shots coming up for you. Just wanted to mention as well, lots of new content to look forward to here on Theme Park Worldwide. There is new videos coming out every single day. It's been really busy for me actually this lockdown. I've really made sure that I film something every day for you all. These Planet Coaster episodes, of course, continue every Wednesday, and that'll be continuing until the end of the series, whenever that may be. And then along with that as well, there's been all sorts of new stuff, and there's another new series going to be starting in a few days' time, actually, as well. Give you a bit of an exclusive. It's all going to be about travel and getting out there to the park, something that a lot of people have asked for, so that's coming. There's new reviews. There's our Remembering series, looking back on all the attractions that aren't with us anymore. I recently did Nemesis Subterra at Alton Towers. And along with that as well, there's all sorts of other content, that of course our regular news updates and so much more to keep you entertained. So there's something new for you to watch every day here on Theme Park Worldwide. Right then, we're on the front seat, we've skipped most of the lift hill, and here we go. Let's check out this hybrid coaster. Oh, that's it, nice and slow over the top, straight down, picking up the pace. There we go, up into that 0G roll before banking up there to the left. Straight over the mid-course brake run, and whoa, lots of airtime. It hardly slows you down. Straight up into that second 0G roll, through the mist and a head chopper, into that turnaround with some fantastic banking on that stall. Back underneath, a little bit of a slower section before banking round to the right now. And then dropping down where we really pick up the pace, more through some more mist, double up, double down, more airtime hills, got its action packed, banks around to the right, flame effects going off, down again into the fire pit, before you think, oh, that's got to be the end, and no, we give you a final inversion just there, over the fire, and into the brake run. Keeps its pacing pretty well, I'm very pleased with that. It's a smaller RMC coaster than what I actually built back in the first series 4 years ago. Crazy how that was 2016. But yeah, you know, I'm really pleased with it. Here's a little look at the coaster at night here as well. Oh, look at the moon up there, absolutely gorgeous. I've not put too much lighting around this because I want you to, you know, it to be dark around some of the drops there. There's more lighting, I'd say, towards the end with the blue than there is anywhere else. But, oh yeah, I'm loving this at night. Fantastic. Wish it was a real theme park, don't you? It's only got 3 rides in it so far, but I wish it was real. Banking round there, straight down, oh, into a fantastic tunnel. That'd be pitch black as well. Double up, double down, loads of airtime. How's the fire going to look at night? Oh, yes, that looks great. Really good fire effects. And round we go. Final inversion. Oh, that's brilliant over the fire pit. Really pleased with that. Both coasters I've done so far, I am really pleased with. Both are thrilling. We've got a launch, of course, over on the Eurofighter with a few inversions. This has got a nice mix of elements as well, with a traditional lift and a very steep drop. And yeah, I think it looks fantastic. Here's some more off-ride footage before we wrap up this episode. So yeah, I'm very pleased with it. Let me know your thoughts on how you think Frontier Adventure's going so far. And like I say, you see this ride now? I need a name for it. Oatman Oil. What are we going to come up with for this one? I'm really looking forward to reading. So once again, I'll thank you in advance for your time that goes into it. I know that you don't just, you know, write a comment and it takes like 30 seconds to do it. I imagine a lot of you really think about what you're going to type for your story. So thank you so much. Keep up with it. It means the world to me. It really does. Look at this coaster. Absolutely fantastic. I do love the cinematic feature that you can do. It's really nice, and my plan is to use a lot of this feature throughout the park and do some nice promotional videos later on in the series as well. But there we go. Here's a nice shot now, zooming out there, looking at the oil. But there we go, a nice couple of screenshots to end the episode. Thank you very much for joining me, Sean Sandbrook, for another episode of Frontier Adventure, and I'll be back next Wednesday with episode 4 in the series. That leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there and keep on riding. See you next week.